Welcome back to Down the Track, and it looks like Vin has become a regular. Thank you again for joining me. A lot of cricket on field and more off field to discuss, I think, today, whether it's the Indian team or it's the PSL. I know there's matches going on as well, but I think today we'll discuss a bit off the field because a lot of big news happening. First of all, in the Indian team, the Test team has been announced, and Rohit Sharma is officially the new Indian Test captain. That
Yeah,
makes him the all format captain for India. And with that, the T20 squad for Sri Lanka was also announced. Vinay, first of all, how are you? Also, yeah, I'll ask you the questions after. First of all, let me know how you are.
I'm good, man. I'm good. It was a grueling day for me in terms
Yeah.
of like workouts and stuff. I've been taking more on my personal side because I need to travel again. So, uh, yeah, man, excited for that aspect, but equally looking forward to speaking with you on the things that were happening in and around cricket, at least.
Yeah, I mean it's really good to get your insight because you're covering a lot of cricket matches. I mean you've been watching, following, and it's really good to get your insight on this, especially the Test team. The most interesting part of the announcement was the selector. Sorry, was it Chetan Sharma?
Chetan Sharma, yes.
Chetan Sharma, the selector, the chief of selectors, right? He
Yes.
mentioned that Rohit Sharma is the captain, and he also informally, I don't want to read too much into it, but I think it could have been avoided. But he also said that Rohit Sharma is the best batsman in India right now.
Depending on his fitness, essentially.
No, but the thing is, I mean, that's fine. Like me and you can have opinions and stuff, but a
Yeah,
chief selector who's selecting both players like a Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli might have to be a bit careful making these statements. No.
they should be. Like, there's
Yeah.
already a lot of drama happening in the media with
Yeah.
Indian cricket team surrounding Indian cricket team all the time, right? So they need to choose their words more carefully. Like my dad once upon a time, like he was doing an interview in one of the TV channels and stuff,
Hmm.
and he was mentioning about the umpires at that point. Like
Yeah.
if you're okay, I can quote that. So basically, what he was talking
Yeah. Go
about
ahead.
was like the differentiation between an Indian umpire versus like many of the umpires in the world is the way they handle like the media as well as like the players on field and everything. That the lacking part is not on the skills on the umpiring, but it's the way they communicate in games and everything, and how they communicate to the rest of the world. That is what perceives them as a good umpire or not. So it's the same thing, right? Like selectors coming and not actually doing that kind of an aspect where they're just throwing things on the table and not choosing their words carefully in
Yeah.
terms of especially leaking to the media and stuff. It it can get to them at some point,
Yeah.
but right now I think they need to get better at it at least.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. For me, it's something that like can be avoided from that. Like you can say Rohit
Exactly.
Sharma is the best batsman. I
Yeah.
think I can say Virat Kohli is the best batsman. That's between us. But if we're representing, it's like our club, right? If I'm saying that this player is better than that player, is the best player. While we have two amazing players, then you don't want to
Yes.
make that comparison, even if one is better in your opinion,
And
especially when
even not just comparing one player or the other, it's just like it kind of demoralizes the team also in a certain way where you're
yeah,
just trying to give that high rating to some players. Of course, we internally know that these players are performing well, but that doesn't mean that you throw like you just throw limelight on them and kind of bring down the team in that sense. So that's my feeling, that they should never kind of disclose these kind of things and always try to maintain that decorum and these kind of things by not throwing in the media at least.
yeah. I mean,
Always try to maintain that decorum and these kind of
sorry, I
things
think
by
my
not
bad, my
throwing.
bad. I didn't recording you, so I thought you were still talking. My bad. But I was saying that from that point of view, it was said in a casual way, right? It
Yes.
wasn't said like, like taken out, like, it looks like now I'm saying like, it's big drama and everything. It wasn't. He said it very casually and everything. It
Yes.
didn't pinpoint anything. But there's already history going on with Chetan Sharma and Virat Kohli, with the sort of Ganguly stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So in that case, I felt that it was not necessary to say anything like that. Just keep it aside and
It's
just
not
make.
required. It could be easily avoided by not saying it. That's
Just
all it
looking at
is.
the circumstances, it's not like, too much to read into. It's not that big of a deal, but
Yeah.
it's, everything is sensitive right now, so it could have been avoided from that sense.
Exactly.
But if you look
Yeah.
at the squad, Rohit Sharma is captain and Jasprit Bumrah is your vice captain. It's all Mumbai Indians think tank over there. Then you have Agarwal, Priyank Panchal, who's been in the squad for a while,
Yeah.
Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Hanuman Vihari, Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant, KS Bharat, R Ashwin, R Jadeja, Jayant Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Umesh Yadav, and Saurabh Kumar. Can you tell me a bit about Saurabh Kumar?
He's a left-arm spinner. Plays for Uttar Pradesh. He's been performing really well he's a very young lad, about 24, 25, and bowls left-arm spin comes about 6 to 7 down. So he is a capable all-rounder as well, and has been a net bowler for them for a long time, and has been performing really well, especially in the Ranji Trophy and stuff. So a good check-in, and he's brings that left arm spin as well, right? Aspect to the team.
That's really good insight, man. To be very honest, I didn't know that, but
He
really.
actually was. He played with me in under 15 when
Yeah,
I.
I knew that was coming. That was coming. Vinay. You had to add that. But yeah, I think it's a kind of template kind of team over here. No Rahane and Pujara. One thing is that now that most of the test matches will be in India for a while, these guys are not going to get tested as much. So it's going to be difficult for those other two to come back into the team, even if they perform in Ranji Trophy, because they said, Ranji, they have to go in Ranji Trophy and they have to perform. And but Rahane just scored 100, but he didn't get picked. So it's not just performing in Ranji Trophy. I think it's more to do with the current players not performing, and that might be less the case when they're playing at home.
See, there was so much hype in the media, especially involving Rahane and Pujara not scoring runs. It's been going on for a few series now. It's not just one series or anything, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like if you remember back in the day, Ganguly had a similar scenario. He went back to Ranji Trophy, he did perform, and he came back and stuff. So there are possibilities. I won't count them out because they're really experienced players, and it's just the time that they just need to spend at this point and get back their form and rhythm and come back to the team. So that's what I feel in this scenario. But at the same time, it's going to be a tough road for them, especially with the youngsters. And if the youngsters start performing, then you can almost say it's an end of the road for them.
Yeah, Punter and Ashish are both in the house. Thank you so much for joining. Punter Singh, Rohit doesn't have the fitness to captain all three formats. Your thoughts? First of all, you tell me what are your thoughts, because you're the Rohit Sharma, the biggest fan that I know. You have posters everywhere in your house. You have him in your cupboard. You have him in your washroom. You have him everywhere. So I want to know what you think. I personally think that he needs to work on his fitness. He has to be fit now. That, like, he doesn't have
Yes.
a choice. He's made captain. What are you gonna do, right? Ashish is saying, "Is this live?" Yes, this is live. What are you gonna do? He's captain now. He has to work on his fitness. You can't go back. Also, another thing is, I think that KL Rahul thing didn't work in their favor. I'll tell you, it's not a fact, but a very strong opinion that if KL Rahul won that test match and won the series in South Africa, he would be captain right now. I think that was a major what's it called, a major factor in Rohit Sharma becoming captain. Whether he's fit or not, he'll have to be fit. Like, he's not. I think for me, it's straight up IPL. He might have to cut down a bit. That's what it is, and he has to. He has to probably, even if he doesn't cut down IPL, he still needs to do something where he's fit. Also, if the series are at home, he could probably pick and choose some series.
It's see, the problem is like that we talked about this previously as well. The transition didn't happen properly, and right now, to be honest, Rohit Sharma would probably be the best candidate to take all formats, especially in Indian team at this current scenario, so that the team stabilizes and gets a better path for themselves when they're actually like picking out teams and playing different tours and stuff. Because the grooming hasn't been done
Hmm.
amongst the other players that are in the team at this point. So I feel he's a better choice. But of course, he has to better on his fitness, because if he's not going to stay fit, then he won't be able to continue, and then we'll again be in that turmoil.
Yeah, Punter Singh Sarfaraz Khan scoring 275 in Ranji. Me and Vinay discussed this yesterday as well, like his innings, and it's good to see him. He's a different player, like we mentioned yesterday in the Ranji Trophy compared to in the IPL. And Vinay was also talking about his fitness it needs to improve. Punter is saying uh, Rohit is not a test captain. Rohit is not a test captain for him. I would just say that
Must say I lost you there.
Vinay, can you hear me? Testing one, two, three.
Yeah,
One, two,
yeah, I can hear you.
sorry, man. If the internet goes, then you have to just take over. But I was saying, Punter, if you read his comment, he's saying that Rohit is not a test captain. I laughed because I don't think, like, we can't judge until he's captain, right? He has to first
Yeah,
captain, and then we'll know. We didn't know Virat Kohli was a test captain. We didn't know Dhoni was a test captain. Ganguly. I think test captaincy is not easy. It is difficult, but at the same time, if Rohit Sharma is captaining the one day and T20 side, and
yeah,
he has that experience, he has that maturity, like you said, and I think it'll be easier for him to guide the youngsters and take it to the transition phase. My question to Punter is: did you think Anil Kumble was a test captain? Maybe not. I did not think so, but he captained and he led the transition to MS Dhoni. Right? It was Kumble
yes,
that at the age of
exactly.
37, 38, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
and
four
if you
years.
see,
Yeah,
around that time was when Ganguly and everyone were retiring, and it was a good transition that
yeah,
came for Anil Kumble, and then a good transition again to Dhoni, and then again to Virat Kohli. So there were good transitions that actually made the other captains who came in easier for them. And right now we're in a spot where we're just throwing like different names in terms of captains and stuff, but there's no stable captain, and that's why I think the selectors went with Rohit Sharma, so that
yeah.
they can get that stability at this point and carry forward the team itself.
Yeah. But you're saying I said he's not a test captain. I know that's what I'm saying. You're saying that, but
Yeah,
we don't know. Until he wasn't a test captain, so you can say he's not a test captain. But now he is test captain. We'll have to see what he does.
yeah,
I don't think like we can have perceptions of people. Oh, he's not a captain. He's not a captain. But until you try them, until you see the thing, and I don't see any other option. Like I was looking at youngsters as well. Rishabh Pant would have been a good choice. Someone else would be a good choice. But you saw clearly when KL Rahul was given that responsibility, it didn't work out, and I don't think they want to take that risk right
yeah,
now. It could have been a good time to blood in a youngster because they're playing at home. But again, you lose a home series, then that youngster's career is like it's
and
gone. His
plus I
captaincy
think
career.
that world test championship, the coveted
Yeah,
crown,
India's
is looming in
lagging
their heads
behind.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're trailing behind a lot at this point, so they need someone who can actually bring them back, essentially. So with home series coming, I think it's a better choice of captain in all three formats rather than trying and testing out different players here and there at this point.
yeah, 100%. And also, with the fitness, what I was thinking was that if Rohit is mature enough to know that if he can play all three formats and captain, like so he would have known that, okay, listen, I have this target. Maybe he's only there for 2 years as captain, maybe one
Yeah,
year. He'll know that, so he's made that decision based on what he thinks about his fitness, of course. And also, there's another thing that nobody will deny: Indian captaincy. If anyone is offered, they will take it, right? And I
yes,
think he's taken it, and it's something he's probably dreamt of. And good for him. I think it's the right choice right now, just because you don't have plenty of options, and you can always change it as you go. If you go to a young captain and then he doesn't perform, then you're actually playing
yeah,
around with his career and ruining his career that way. With Rohit Sharma, it's okay. Like you can move on a bit faster from that.
absolutely. And
uh,
if you remember back in the day when he wasn't playing Test cricket, he used to say that that's the format that I actually want to play now, because he
yeah,
was performing well in ODIs and T20. So he wanted to play in all three formats. So he just needs to prove that he can sustain that all three
yeah.
formats.
And I feel that Rohit Sharma has improved a lot as a batsman after hitting
Yeah,
30s. Like, right now he's 34, 35. And
yeah,
I think his peak was the 2019 World Cup. So how old was he? He was probably 31, 32. And I think that was his high point of his career, scoring
yeah.
500. So he's someone who's matured a bit late. It's maybe because, that maturity, also that focus, consistency, when he won't
I
consistent,
wouldn't
he'll know
say
what's lying ahead, and he won't want to make those mistakes.
I wouldn't say it's just because of maturity or anything. It's more towards him being promoted up the order, and then he started to take that responsibility, and that's where he gained his maturity. And he was scoring like odd runs here and there when he was batting down the order, but he always had the potential
Yeah.
to go big, right? So now that he's gotten the opportunity, he's just grabbed it.
Yeah, I mean, he did score a couple of big double hundreds in 1 days, but even then, he wasn't that consistent as he was in that World Cup and after that. So I
Yeah,
think it's been good, and let's see what happens. I would just say that now he's Test captain. There's no other option. I mean, it's finalized, so we'll just have to wait and watch. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, you can always look to a youngster. So I think it
yeah.
works out in that way.
No,
Uh,
I feel it was a little harsh for not selecting KL Rahul as vice captain, going with Bumrah.
yeah.
So that was something that I noticed at least. Like I no hesitancy in giving Rohit Sharma the captaincy, but I think KL should have been given the vice captaincy rather than Bumrah at this point.
Yeah, I think so. Like in that way, like you have to back him. Again, it's about confidence, right? You don't wanna,
Exactly.
what's it called? Disturb someone's confidence, and that's why maybe they haven't given Pant the captaincy as well. They went
Yeah.
with Rohit Sharma just because of this. We have big man in the house. Yo, we
What's
have
up,
two of the X-Men's greatest of all time. The
legends?
two guys who
Legends in
played
the house.
together, the two best friends, the two people who have everything
Okay,
similar.
let's get to the topic. Let's get to the topic now.
The topic is that Ashish always performs well under Vinay's captaincy, and Satnam is here, and he is getting jealous of this because he wants to also perform under Vinay's
I
captaincy,
think
but only
we
Ashish
should
is.
stick
He
to.
wants Ashish to get record. But yeah, topic is Rohit Sharma Test captain. You're happy with that, Ashish?
He's amazing captain for me. So he's an amazing captain. Like he won the series against West Indies. So what else you expected from him?
He's
So
gonna win against Sri Lanka too. Don't worry.
Sri Lanka, he's gonna kill Sri Lanka. He's gonna score 500. I don't know how many matches there. Three. He's gonna score 500. So and then he's gonna get injured in the before the IPL starts.
So if he does get injured, you're okay with Bumrah as vice captain?
Yeah, Bumrah has been leading the attack for us for so long, and it's a good sign that the bowlers are being given that position because we saw Rishabh Pant also being considered. But Bumrah, if you see his Test career, he's been really good. So I think it's a good choice now that Pujara and Rahane is not there. So. The next guy, and even Ishant Sharma is not there. So next guy you look up to is Bumrah as the leader of the bowling attack. So I think they are following Australian pattern. Like
Yes, partner,
yeah, so like Cummins over there, Bumrah over here. So they are just following whatever Aussies are doing.
But Ashish, do you think it was a little harsh for Rahul not given vice captaincy, like stripped off of captaincy directly, and Rohit getting that?
Is it for this series only? Because I think once Rahul is fit, he'll be the vice captain because he's not fit right now. I think that's why Bumrah is given the
He
captaincy.
is selected for the Sri Lankan Test match series.
Okay, so that's a bit harsh, but as
yeah.
we know, like we have to see how Rohit works with Rahul and how they like transfer the captaincy to him. It's going to take time, but even KL Rahul has to make a name for himself in Test cricket because it took Rohit Sharma so many years to make a name. Now he's a Test captain after performing for 2 years or 3 years or so. So I think Rahul has to like be like a Pujara for us or a Rahane for us in the middle order, or if he's not opening, then I think then he makes a good case for himself.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing is, three formats now. He'll have to be super fit and super ready because, if he's going to make like right now, they don't have too many big away series in terms of the test, but he'll have to be, at this stage of his career, he has to be active. He's opening the batting. He's going to be, fielding at slips. He's going to be making the calls and all three formats. And Virat Kohli, fair enough, he was at the peak of his career. Like he was also scoring runs with his bat. He was on top, so it was a bit easier for him that way. Even if India lost, it was Virat Kohli performing, so it was a bit. So Rohit Sharma, I think, has a bit more pressure
Yeah, and
in
also
that.
the age to consider. Like it's and test format like Rohit just played like 2 3 years ago. He started playing regularly,
Yeah.
I think, and it took a while for him to get into the test team first of all, and now he is the captain. So it's a
But
good phase going on for Rohit. He has good
Yeah.
selectors in the board who just love him so much more than Kohli. So yeah.
No, I don't think that's it. I think, to be very fair, like in that sense, Rohit Sharma, it's less of a risk because even if he doesn't perform, then you can move on to someone young, right? And Rohit will be at the fag end of his career. But if you're
Oh,
going to someone like a Pant, like me and Vinay discussed, and you take that captaincy of Pant at a very early stage and he doesn't perform well, he loses the home series, then that pressure builds a lot. Rohit Sharma, it makes it a bit easier, that transition, because Anil Kumble was Test captain 38. I understand that he was only one format, and for Rohit Sharma, it's going to be very tricky because it's three formats. But I think it's easier to transition. It doesn't have to be a long-term project. It could be a short-term project as well.
but with Anil Kumble, he played like so many Test matches for India before
Yeah.
getting the captaincy as well.
Yeah, yeah.
More than 100, I think.
But
Between
we
80 and
didn't
90.
think he's going to ever captain India. Like he did play
Even Rohit
a
Sharma
lot.
doesn't perform, they'll just announce he's injured and he'll just sit out. So, Rohit Sharma has it
You
always. So he's the best captain ever. Musti, note it down, please. Thank you.
guys, uh, you guys are okay with the T20 team? I mean, there's the likes of the Gaikwad is still there. I don't know if he's going to get a chance, but he's there in that squad. But yeah, Vinay and Ashish, again, Rohit Sharma is captain this time. Is Jasprit Bumrah is vice captain again
Yeah.
in T20 also? Oh, that's a big call, man.
Yes.
Um, and Bumrah has not played it. He hasn't played Test matches in India, right? Or very rarely.
Only one or two series.
He he has played, but rarely. Yes.
Yeah, so this is a big call. To be
Yeah.
fair, Rohit Sharma,
I
Gaikwad,
thought
Ishan
they should have
Kishan.
given it to Ashwin because Ashwin has been performing so well for us in India as well as overseas. But it's just like they don't want Ashwin to play that much because overseas they prefer Jadeja as well. So I
Yeah.
don't know. So they just
Yeah,
give
I
it to
think
Bumrah.
they're
Is the
looking at
Mumbai
someone
guys?
who.
Mumbai guy scored.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked because Bumrah also rests right in between and stuff. He also, like, need, especially in India series, he doesn't play that much. He takes rest. So I was very surprised with the vice captaincy in the T20s. But like I was saying, Rohit Sharma, Gaikwad, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer, Venkatesh Iyer, Deepak Huda, Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar, Kumar, Deepak Chahar, Harshal Patel, Mohammad Siraj, Sanju Samson, Ravinder Jadeja, Chahal, Bishnoi, Kuldeep Yadav, Avesh Khan. So any surprises there, or you guys are good with that squad?
Kohli's getting the rest, so I can't say anything.
Sansom Samson coming in for Pant. That's a good call. Like at least for the series, give him a look in, and he can actually play like a fielder as well. He's done well in fielding and stuff too. So that's a good call to bring him back in the fray.
I just have a
I
question
think
for
Pant is
you.
giving.
I just have a question. So we see Ishan Kishan like next level player getting runs and all. Now after the auction, two innings, two innings. He's supposed to get off to a great start. He should be the guy taking off like us like to 40, 50 in 6 overs. He's
Right.
struggling, 30 balls something, and Rohit Sharma has to do his dirty work. Like we see Rohit Sharma scoring 40 runs in 18 balls, so and losing wickets. So I don't know what's going on there.
I, I think from there, that side, there's potential there. He is he is very talented. I think he just needs to be backed, and he's still very young. So I think give him time. Rishabh Pant, there was a lot of criticism about him as well 2 years ago, even last year, up until that Australia series, the Gabba series. He was criticized a lot. It took him a long time. I think he played India for 2 years until he's like now proving himself as a regular. And still, people question Rishabh Pant, saying, "Why is he? Oh, he's just test match player." Before they were saying, "Why is he playing test matches? Because he hits every ball." After
Yeah.
so many good test innings, they're saying, "Okay, he's only a test player. Why is he playing white ball?" Now he's finishing games for India as well. It's the talent is there with Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan. It's just that they're very young. They're going to make mistakes. International cricket is very different to IPL. IPL, I'll tell you again, it's easier to score runs compared to international cricket. I don't know the reasons. I've just seen that. Like there are reasons to it. I can also
Yeah.
go into that, but I just feel that it's the level is a bit different in international cricket, and you have to, even if you're not backed, you have to be given time. Then you can come back. Also, you can be dropped, come back and perform again. It takes time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
for tomorrow's game, do you see Ishan Kishan going in the middle order, and Rituraj Gaikwad going opening the innings and getting debut?
Yeah, you could do that. You could give Gaikwad
I
a
think that
debut.
might happen.
Yeah, that will happen.
Because
Rishabh Pant is rested for tomorrow, right?
rest is for tomorrow, and Kohli is also not there. So
You can play Gaikwad in the middle order as well, but yeah, I would play Gaikwad opening and just trust him out because there's so much talk about him. He's played well in the IPL, also domestic cricket. He's played so well, so I go for it. Like there's nothing to stop like Gaikwad not playing, right? Like he's done
Yeah.
really well.
And I think they
Gaikwad and Shreyas Iyer most likely will come in.
Yeah.
yeah, Shreyas Iyer, we also have that guy outside. Yeah, I
So
want
that's the
to.
thing. Like even look, Gaikwad right now we're all talking about him, right? He's gonna come in. He might score a few runs. Then he's gonna go through a rough patch. We saw that with Shubman Gill. He came in, he smashed it. Now where is he? Right? Like he's in the test squad now, but we haven't seen him for the past year since the Australia heroics. So
Oh,
people,
he's been
what
injured. He's been
he's
injured. That's why he wasn't
he's also not performed after
He
that.
didn't perform in the series as well.
If you see after the Australia series, there was the series in India against England. He didn't perform in that. And then, like, what were the 4 test matches? He didn't perform in any of them. He struggled a
there.
lot. Then he went to the Test Championship over there also, and then he got injured after that.
Yeah.
So also what it is that form goes and comes, also analytics, all these teams watch these videos, they look at your weaknesses. When you come first up, they might not know, but as you go further down the line, and international players also is the best of each country, right? IPL team, you also have backup players, you have, so it's different kind of level in that sense. So it's a big challenge playing for India, and I'm sure Gaikwad will start well and he'll do well, hopefully, but he'll also come through a rough patch, and that's where you have to back your players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and anything else you want to add on the Indian team?
So does Hardik Pandya comes back? We see Venkatesh Iyer playing so well.
One thing
Any-
I'm surprised is Venkatesh Iyer is not wasn't given a bowl in the last game. I think he could have bowled because Harshal Patel was getting hit a bit, and so was Deepak Chahar. I think they should have tried a bit there, 1 or 2 thing, and so that's something that I would like to see. But if Hardik Pandya is fit and he can bat and bowl, he will get into the team. He will get into the team,
I
but
think the
he has to bowl.
selector,
He can't be the Dubai.
the selector even mentioned that in his statement that Hardik Pandya, once he's fully fit, 100% fit, when he's bowling and stuff, that's when we're gonna bring him back into the
Yeah,
team.
he'll come back. He'll come back, Ashish. And Vinay, please tell Ashish what the chief selector also said about Rohit Sharma. Ashish missed that part. He wasn't with us.
Rohit Sharma is the best batsman right now in India.
I
So,
think
Ashish,
I think the selector needs to see what he's having at night.
yeah. Look, Ashish, just yes or no. Like your opinion, I know. So your opinion is Virat Kohli is the best batsman in India. But let's not get into that argument because everyone can have their opinions. Like
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, they both play for India. We can have those discussions, but as the chairman, you shouldn't be making those statements,
You
right?
shouldn't be favoring one player over the other. It's because for you, all the 25 players or 13 players or 15 players in the squad should be at the same level. If you
Yeah.
say
And
Bumrah is
this
the
is
best
not
bowler, then everyone is the best bowler. If
this is
Rohit is the best batsman, then
yeah.
Kohli and other guys are also the best batsman for India.
Yeah, sorry to cut you there, but this is not the first time. Even Ravi Shastri did something like that when Kuldeep Yadav picked up wickets in the first time India won the series in Australia, and he
Yeah.
said that Kuldeep Yadav is their main spinner, and that actually hurt Ashwin. So it's happened before in previous regime as well. It's and it's something that can affect players. So I think people who are making these statements just need to be a bit careful when saying it to the public.
Yeah.
It hampers the confidence of other guys. Look at the guy like Rahul. He's playing he's so well. He's scoring every time, and like Rohit Sharma has been in out of the team. He has been injured and everything. Kohli's been there. So for a guy like Rahul, he'll be like, oh, then what I am. So what do you mean by Rohit Sharma is the best one? Though these talk doesn't matter to the players. It's just for the publicity, like and all that things, like
Yeah.
I was about to say some other word, but I didn't want to because it was bad. But still, like I feel they are just favoring Rohit Sharma. They are just backing him, and they just want Rohit Sharma to get in the groove and bring the best out of players. So that's the only reason they are just promoting Rohit Sharma as a brand. But Kohli is a
Yep.
big brand any day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's we saw a bit of that in Inside Edge, but let's just move on to the very quickly the PSL. And there's been off the field drama today. James Faulkner has said that he is quitting the PSL because his contract has not been it's not been accepted by the PCB. It's not been respected by the PCB, and he's not been paid. And the PCB have come out and said that this is all rubbish. He he made a different bank account, and he wants us to pay him twice. We already paid him one account. He wants us to pay him there as well without refund and everything. So there's two coins to the story, but there's no fuel without fire. So I guess in both camps there's a bit of mistake. What do you think, Vinay?
And they also mentioned he's never going to be ever drafted in PSL anymore going forward.
That was coming. But if he's the one who came out saying it first, Faulkner,
Yeah,
then there was something to it. Like if PCB could have easily come out and said it first, I think. I'm not saying that the PCB are wrong, because they also have proof that apparently that he's asked for double payment. So if they do have that proof and you can see that proof, then PCB are in good stand. But I think there is something to it as well. Like, you can ban him, you can do
yeah,
everything, but PCB have to be a bit careful, because it just puts a bad name on the brand, right? If you're not
yeah.
getting, if you're not paying, allegedly not paying a player, and the player
No,
comes out.
that clearly happens and stuff, like in major tournaments and everything. And if some player is actually coming out and saying, "I won't doubt more on the player, I'll doubt more on the league than the player," at that point, because if you actually see, like, none of the players will take these harsh decisions unless they actually are generally hurt. These are international stars who are playing in these leagues and stuff. So I don't think they'll just come out just on bias or anything in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. Ashish, anything to add?
I think the PSL, like the PCB, is they're just clearing up their name. They are just
Yeah,
they know like they messed it up, and it's Faulkner who played for like Australia. He's like renowned all over the world. If that guy is coming out and telling you that there's some problem and these guys are not abiding by the contract, because so we take like one time, two time, they might have tried to resolve it, but it some chain of events might have forced him to say out it publicly, right? And he
yeah,
was in all praises of the fans and everyone, but he just said it's on the part of the PSL and the PCB that they didn't pay him. So I think
Yeah.
they are just covering it up by saying, "Oh, we won't put him in draft," and then all that. It's always fishy with the PCB. Like it's not clean
They
business.
also released a picture of a chandelier. Apparently, he threw his bat and helmet on the chandelier after the talks in anger, and I think he broke something there in the hotel. I don't know how true that is, but there was a picture that came out, and apparently, yeah, he was angry. But I agree. I think, like, both sides, there could be it could go from both sides. I don't know
yeah,
exactly the story, because but like you guys said, like Ashish said, if the player is coming out first, then there is something on the board as well. Like,
yeah,
truly, the board has done something wrong. But at the same time, the board, if they have evidence to show that, no, listen, we did this and everything, you can clear it up as well in that way. And now, which way it goes, we don't know. Like, but there will be drama in these situations. Unfortunately, it's not the situation you want to be in. But like Vinay said, it happens in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, and they've taken so much time. They'll make evidence now.
They'll make evidence. Yeah, I mean, you're the lawyer, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, they'll
And
make evidence. You also seen as the Saha one. He gave evidence side by side. Like
yeah, what is
so you see,
Saha
that's how
thing
you
as
give
well?
evidence.
We don't know who that was. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see who said that. But the journalist kind of disrespecting, not kind of, he was disrespecting Saha there on personal message. And for Saha to post that, like, he should be respected. And he's not even a controversial guy, right? Like, Saha is
yeah,
such a player. He does his business. And honestly, one of the best glove men behind the stumps for India ever, in terms
Yeah,
of just wicket keeping. He's
just
been
wicket
so,
keeping is good.
yeah. And just also on that, Harry Brook, the youngest player to score a ton in PSL history, 102 or
that
49. And
partnership changed the game completely for them. Like, they were
Omar
two wickets
Boyd,
down. They were two wickets down all of a sudden, and then Fakhar Zaman and Brooks just made a big partnership and scored tons of runs, and that's what won their game. So it was an
yeah.
amazing innings that he played.
Yeah, 100%. It was a very good innings, and it's good to see some cricket, like, a lot of
Yeah.
off-field stuff happening, drama happening, and hopefully the PSL continues and we see some good games. And yeah, Vinay, anything the latest from the Ranji Trophy? Anything you want to add?
Um, your boy Shah Rukh Khan actually
Yeah.
scoring 194.
Wow.
Played like a T20 inning, scoring in around 140 balls or something.
Wow.
And that gave Tamil Nadu the lead of 20 runs or something. Delhi posted a good score, about 60 odd or something, and Tamil Nadu first innings they came up to 490. So yeah, that was an amazing innings that he played, and Pujara scoring a duck in his uh, back in the Ranji Trophy and stuff, and yeah, those were some of just the highlights that we had on the Ranji Trophy scene.
Yeah, that's good. And Ashish will be very happy with that 195. And also adding to that, Rahane scored 100. So has, yeah, sorry.
Also, Abdul Samad scoring 100 for Jammu
Sunrisers.
Kashmir. So
See, Sunrisers and Punjab always pick up the brightest talent in
But
that
get
yeah,
sense.
of
some in
course.
the domestic circle, then in IPL something happens.
They have the
Yeah,
best. They have the best teams in the league, but yeah, something
This
happens.
time, this time is Punjab season. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we hear that every season, so it's
every
okay.
season, bro. Every season, Ashish, man.
We hear that every
Yeah.
season. It's
Just
okay.
yesterday, I
We're
supported
used to it now, Ashish. We're
you.
just
When
used
you
to
reached top four, I was supporting you.
Ashish,
it.
This season is Punjab season.
Yes, yes.
the
Every season is Punjab
You
season.
should write. You should write in the comments below every time you see me coming. This season is
The
Punjab.
Ashish narrative starts with this Punjab season, then he goes Punjab killing it, Punjab amazing. Arey kya kar rahe beka, this that. Starts saying, oh, what about Mumbai Indians?
What do you mean? Why are they buying the title? Why are they buying every
Goes
title?
from Punjab and Preeti Zinta and the players, KL Rahul, and now it'll be about Bears and everything. Then it'll slowly shift the narrative to Arjun Tendulkar and the boys. But yeah,
Oh,
Ashish, we want you to bring the latest from the Ranji Trophy as well. Hopefully, next time you join us when it comes to the Mumbai team and what Arjun is doing, we want you to get the latest from there.
He
I
didn't play. He
I
didn't
don't
make the
think
11.
he even plays in Ranji. Like they don't even select him. It's just Mumbai giving
He'll
30
get
lakhs
there,
to him.
he'll get there, don't worry. He'll get there. He's working hard, man.
Yeah, hard boy.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up. If you just want to wrap up with the South, actually, let's just discuss the South Africa, New Zealand. New Zealand in the home conditions are completely different beast, and we've seen that the same Elgar that India could not get out, the same Bavuma, the same players, even the bowlers, Rabada and stuff. New Zealand just made them look ordinary team in New Zealand conditions.
Is the ICC Test Championship final announced? I hope it's not in New Zealand. I hope it's not in New because we wait 2 years to play a final. Either it's in England or New Zealand. We are not playing. Just give it away. Let's play in India. Let's talk in India. Then we'll play.
No, I think it goes by whoever wins the previous championship. It goes in their condition, so it might be New Zealand.
Oh wow.
Then stop watching test matches then. No point of point system.
Yeah, and New Zealand have been very consistent lately, and at home they're a completely different beast. It'll be interesting to see who makes it to the final because India are also suffering in that ranking because they've lost a few series and a few matches as well. But yeah, South Africa will need to come back strong. It's going to be difficult, but they do have the personnel there, right? They have the Dean Elgar, they have Rabada, they have these guys. So someone like a Dwan Olivier, I think it just takes time. These conditions, New Zealand know at back of the hand. They know exactly which lines and lengths to hit, and it will
And
take
right
some
now,
time.
Williamson is not even playing.
Yeah,
Imagine the team is winning like this without Williamson. So
yeah, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Anything else you guys want to add?
The points for India versus England is not counted as a fair try because there wasn't a fifth match.
Yeah, the fifth match has to be counted yet. I think they've counted the matches, but the last match hasn't been counted, I think.
So they have points match wise and series wise, or just match wise points.
I think match wise.
match wise, and
Yeah.
they do get some additional points for series as well. I think.
If you win away, then you get. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm just taking away some points for India. That's it. Nothing objective.
And that's why they appointed Rohit Sharma this
Yeah, I
time,
think
no?
from India.
Yeah.
So that they can win against Sri Lanka at least.
No, in India,
From India's perspective, it's good to have the home series because they'll have to rack up the points very fast because otherwise it'll run away from them. We saw that even previously with Australia, and with England. They started off very well, but then they're always in and around. But Australia lost that one series to India, and completely everything was taken away from them. It looked like it was going to be an India Australia final, but so that's where India have to be very careful. I think now they'll have to rack up the points, and they can't take any test match lightly if they want to make that final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the final T20, right, Vinay?
Yep.
And
Third.
your prediction?
West Indies this time.
West Indies. Ashish, how's my boy Nicholas Pooran, man? He's killing it, bro.
He's killing it. I was texting him. I'm like, yo, this is your bid. Bid number one.
I do. Listen. How much did he go for? 10.75 crore. How much did Ishan Kishan go for? 15 crore. It's It's a bargain.
Is it for a foreign player versus an Indian player? I don't think so.
Okay, let's talk when IPL actually starts, and let's see how he performs for
And
Sunrise.
the narrative will change. I'm talking about now. The narrative will change.
No,
I
no,
keep
that's why
changing
let's
the
talk
narrative.
when we're talking about 15.25
Last season,
and
I was pumped up like you, like Nicholas Pooran. We have one innings 0, other innings 10, other
But
innings 0. Then you know how it went.
I always said this though. The problem is in Dubai, he will struggle. So again, I think if it's in Dubai, again he will struggle. If it's in India, he'll always have a good shout. Like we saw in this series, he likes playing on these kind of pitches, like with the ball coming on a bit, and he plays spin well as well. Fast bowling is not an issue either for him, right? So again, it depends on where the IPL is, but
and he's
also
getting
for
a lot
West
of
Indies,
chances also. Like he's been dropped a couple of times already.
yeah, he's been dropped. And Robin Power as well, clean hitter, man. Very good buy for Delhi. He's also uh, excellent. I think he's a really good batsman. It's good for the West Indies. It's good that you guys got these contracts and stuff. And let's see how they perform. Like Ashish says, very true. It's too early to think, but we have to celebrate, right? Whenever the chance, we don't know if the chance is going to come or not. If he hits 3 zeros or 4 zeros, then this time won't come again, right? I can't go and tell you, oh, remember that series. You're not going to remember. So I'm going to tell you now. Yeah, we have to say it in the present because it could be like you said. Let's see, wait in the IPL if he doesn't perform. But yeah, Ashish, the prediction
I think 3-0.
3-0. The difference, I think, in this series has been the spinners. Roshan Chase has been outstanding. He hasn't got that support. Vishnu has been outstanding. He's got that support from Chahal. And also, I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar has shown his experience. So overall, India's bowling has been better, and that's what's helped them in this series.
Yeah,
and there's problem for openers on both the sides. So if someone, if West Indies guys they go like bonkers in the starting, then it'll be 200 to chase, and which will be difficult because Ishan Kishan is struggling, our golden boy, and so it can be either way. So
Yeah, he'll come back, but you're right. And right now he's not performing. So again, Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid have talked about that long rope and backing players. So it'll go against their kind of philosophy if they do drop Ishan Kishan. Maybe they keep him and change the batting order, but I don't know if they're gonna drop him. I'll be a bit surprised if they do drop him. Gaikwad might get a go. He can still go in the middle order. So let's see how it goes either way.
yeah,
Very good. All good?
let's go.
yeah.
All right, man. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I will catch you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care and have a good weekend. And I hope you guys enjoyed the football as well. We'll discuss that offline.
Yes, we will.
Take care.
Let's go,